like to know the difference between deportability and inadmissibility, well, this video is for you. My name is Molina. I am an immigration attorney based in Dallas, Fort Worth, and serving clients worldwide. And today we're going to be talking about what's the difference between being deportable and inadmissible and why it matters. All right, so immigration law in the United States is infamous for having all this minutiae and small and different details about rules that apply to some people and rules that apply to others, right? So one of the main differences, and the main rules that apply to different people are the rules for being inadmissible and deportable. This is really important because some rules are easier than others to follow, okay? And there's bigger exceptions for some sets of rules than others, okay? So here, inadmissibility is when applies when a person is seeking to be admitted into the US, right? So either they're at the border trying to come in, or they're asking for a visa at a US embassy or consulate, or they're caught in the United States, they're being kicked out, and they say, well, let me stay, okay? So in those cases, inadmissibility applies, right? Being admissible, that's where that word comes from. And then deportability applies to those people that were lawfully admitted or paroled into the US, but then the US government decides that it's time for them to go, okay? So those are the differences. One is for people who have not been admitted to the US, and the deportability is for people that were admitted, but now that the US wants to kick out. Okay, so some of the main, and there's several sets of differences that are very important, but one of the key ones is crimes involving moral turpitude. Okay, so there's a small exception for people who are not allowed into the US, and that's the petty offense exception. Okay, so if you're sentenced for something that is a crime involving moral turpitude, say theft, but it was petty theft, you know, if the charge was for less than $50 and you were never sentenced for more than 6 months in jail for that offense, and it's your only offense, right? So there's that exception. On the other hand, for being deportable, there is an exception if you commit your first crime involving of moral turpitude after 5 years of being admitted, right? So you know, different rules for different people. Another big difference, right? So for individuals who are admitted lawfully to the US, let's say they're lawful residents or students, there is a ground for you to be deported if you commit a firearms offense. There's no such ground for inadmissible people, very likely because other countries' firearm laws are much more strict than they are in the US, well, depending on where you live. But anyway, those are just some of the few differences. This makes a major difference, in particular in cases where a lawful permanent resident of the US commits an offense, let's say a crime involving moral turpitude, right? So you committed theft by check, right? So you wrote a hot check and you've been a lawful permanent resident for 10, 20 years. This happened, you know, 5 years, 7 years ago, and you know, you decide to go on vacation. You're a lawful resident, right? They can't really deport you because this happened, this crime involving moral turpitude happened after 5 years of being a lawful resident, but you traveled internationally. Then at that point, the inadmissibility rules come to play, even if you're a permanent resident, right? So there, CBP or through DHS, they're going to try and deport you and say, well, I know you're a lawful resident, but this set of rules applies. So guys, listen, I hope you sort of understand the differences and understand why this is important, okay? But if you're in a situation like this or a loved one is, consult an experienced immigration attorney that can help you defend yourself, protect your American dream, and make sure that the correct rules are being applied to you or your loved one. Again, my name is Jorge Molina. Thank you for watching.